Woo! Live. Yeah, live.
We are actually, yeah.
Live from your phlegmatic ESG machine. I told you it was important to buy one of those. You thought it was a waste of company resources.
Honestly, it was an overspend. I still don't see the value.
It's yet another Manic Monday edition of Business Pants, joined by analyst whole Matt Moscardi. Yeah!
Oh!
See, if we had the ability to play overlapping sound effects, the crowd could cheer while the theme music was playing, but
I've lodged my thoughts with Riverside.
How dare you, Riverside. In today's pre-fermented, post-colonial, plant-based CEO pay ratio bag called November 6, 2023, we're filtering the ESG news through a giant stupid game. That's what we're doing.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that what we always do?
It seems like the same thing we do every week. Let's do it.
Hey,
though.
look, if you want, S&P's version of this show, go ahead, go over there, get the 3-hour interview with some managing director of some bank. I don't care.
S&P doesn't even want the S&P version of the S&P show.
CDP meets Barclays. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I will say this before we launch into the actual news. Today we interviewed Allison Taylor, who's a clinical professor at NYU Stern. She's
business school, not Tisch.
Intelligence
not
agent.
Tisch, but Stern, the business school.
She described herself. We got a hold of her book that doesn't come out until February.
Yep.
A corporate intelligence agent. She sounds like a spy. We're talking to Rachel Allenbach this week. We're recording.
God, that's right. Yeah.
On
live
Wednesday,
from Australia. Mm-hmm.
Live from Australia. On Wednesday, we're going to drop a clip from the Nell Minnow podcast that we recorded last Thursday.
And don't forget Monday.
The full thing.
Monday, we got the Hall of Famer Doug Chaw coming back to the show, right?
Monday, Doug Chaw's coming back. We have like a massive. We went from nobody wanted to talk to us to now we have so many people coming that we can't even keep up.
Yeah, and we're going to keep this going. So please, if you know anyone, reach out. And
if you want to come on the show and not pitch your shitty product, but just have a conversation like a normal human being.
I mean, you could pitch your shitty product if you let me laugh at you for 5 minutes straight.
Yeah, well, that's fine. No, here, I'll rephrase. You want to come on the show and pitch your shitty product, feel free to pay us some advertising dollars and we'll pitch for you. We're simple.
Perfect segue. And apologies to John Lukomnik if you're listening, but our show today is being sponsored by Free Flow Analytics, the only ESG data platform to measure real board influence. See how I went from shitty product to it was seamless.
It was seamless. Nobody's going to notice. But yeah, we have a bunch of interviews coming up. Starting this week, we got a bunch that'll drop on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So keep your eye out for that. Otherwise,
we have a new show coming. Don't forget.
We got a new show. I didn't even mention it. We got a new show coming
soon.
We have gotten suggestions of names like Proxy Underpants. We got the name Proxy Underpants was one of the suggestions.
I don't like that.
I mean, we want to be taken seriously, people.
Plus, it's so U.S. centric because in the U.K. underwear is just called pants. So,
is it really?
Yeah. So it's pants. Pants are your underwear, and trousers are your pants.
I thought it would be your britches.
So it just gets confusing. Underpants. I don't know what that means.
We should be the Proxy britches.
I want to be serious for once. Can we call it like? Can we call it like CNBC's The Proxy Show? Can we call it that?
Do we have to be affiliated with CNBC?
Who cares? Who cares?
But that show is coming up. We're going to record the first one this week and we'll probably be dropping them starting next week. But we'll keep you posted.
Right, come on,
otherwise, let's do this show. Yeah. I also want you to know, as part of the new shows, I have dedicated some budget for you to find approximately one new song.
I thought you say one new hoodie.
No, there's no budget for that.
Just going to keep this gross blue one. Okay, here we go, Matt. I got a good one for you. This is the React to the ESG Business News headline game, top 9 headlines.
You the terrible name. It's really amazing.
Because, top 10 is stupid. We're top 9 over here at Free Flow.
Yeah, no one does top 10.
And here's how it works, Matt. You have the utmost discretion to rate it any way you want. You can go 1 to 10. You can go 5 unicorns. You can go. You can go like ESG ratings agency. Call it a triple, Z or whatever. Whatever you want to do, right?
Can I do it a mixed, like a 1?
Yes, absolutely.
1
absolutely.
to double B.
Absolutely, I'm starting off strong.
All right, let's do this.
This first headline is this is an all-time headline. I'm a little disappointed because I sent it to our company earlier and nobody really responded. But this is kind of an all-time headline. I mean,
Jesse did respond.
Okay,
and
here we go.
Think she summed up our thoughts.
China, and this is from a real news source, Business Insider. China boldly claims it has a plan to mass produce humanoid robots that can reshape the world within 2 years.
Oh!
So while you're dithering away, arguing about should we kill the acronym of ESG and what does S really mean? Here's what China's up to.
Yeah. So while you're appearing on the S&P podcast talking about privacy and security, China meanwhile has an army of robots. This does sound it sounds Muskian of China, doesn't it?
Oh, we're getting to Musk later. The good news here, Matt, is this: Chinese startup Fourier Intelligence said it aspires to deliver thousands of robots in 2024 that can move at 5 kilometers an hour. So Matt, we can still outrun them. This is great news. I mean, right?
Great.
Initially,
that's really slow.
Yeah. So just keep trim, eat healthy, because as of now, we can outrun these stupid humanoid robots.
Get a hold of the weight loss drugs that are everywhere now.
You're gonna need it.
You're going to need it.
There's a whole new value. Yeah, Pfizer stock is going up because there's a whole new value to staying in shape.
You are running. Novo Nordisk, Eli Lilly, we are betting on you to run away from the robots.
I'm curious how you're going to rate this, Matt, but I want to repeat that I'm not kidding. This is news out of the China's Ministry of Industry and Information Technology. They published a massive roadmap of its future plans. And unlike Elon Musk, who you referenced to, they might actually build what they say they're going to build.
Well, yeah, maybe. I think. I think. I am waiting for. So I love this story because it's terrifyingly terrible. Right? I'm going to give this a 9 out of 17.
All right. Wait. Oh, okay.
No. 9 out of 11.
Out of 7.
Yeah. I'm wondering when we get the first report from Mark Zuckerberg that says, you see, China did steal all our technology, and that's what they're using to build humanoid robots.
I'm glad you mentioned Mark, because I didn't have a way of getting the story in because it wasn't this kind of show. But I'll say this. Meanwhile, at American big data companies that are controlled by one stupid college dropout dictator, a.k.a. Meta Platforms' Mark Zuckerberg. The headline about Mark today was that he busted his knee training for a mixed martial arts fight, and that he's getting surgery. I mean, this is what the guy who has no oversight at his multinational social media dominant company.
Monopoly.
He is training for fighting and getting hurt. I mean, crazy, right? Isn't it not absurd?
Look, Free Flow Analytics was created to measure the people inside of companies, like in management teams, just like sports teams. So Mark is just living what we built. That's all. He's like, okay, well, they're going to measure me like I'm on a sports team. I'm going to join a sports team. I'm going to fight MMA.
For once, I'm going to say that the owners of sports teams might be more serious than regular people.
Oh, no.
Right? I mean, dude, hand off the reins. Get rid of your dual class shares. Get back to one share, one vote. Get some actual independent directors. Dude, this is not. It's not right. It's not good. All right, I'm not even here to talk about Zuck.
But does the oversight board have to weigh in if he wants to sunset his shares?
Moving on.
Oh.
Here's a nerdy one. Bumble founder and CEO to step down early next week. Slack CEO to succeed her. All right.
Oh.
Before I get to the meat of the story, I'm looking at you, CNBC. These people have names. I mean,
yes, they do.
Use their names. I hate that we hide behind this, but the Bumble founder and CEO is actually Whitney Wolfe Herd, and the Slack CEO who's taking over is Lydiane Jones. So a woman's replacing Whitney. I got a lot of things to say here, but I'll leave you with this. According to our data, Whitney Wolf Herd controls 64% of the influence at Bumble. Wow. And, Matt, she's not actually leaving. She's transitioning to her role as executive chair. So I'm going to leave you with all that.
Yeah, baby. That's right. That's what I like to hear. Finally. You know what? I love this. I'm giving this a triple A. I'm giving this a triple A. I love it because, look, usually it's a male founder or CEO or executive
who sticks around too long.
Throws a woman human body shield in front of a live grenade while they join the executive chair role and then do nothing. They collect a check equal, if not larger, to the CEO, and they sit on the board, for 10 meetings a year. The fact that we have a woman founder who is, a billionaire in her own right now, doing the exact same thing.
Although she's killing the value of his shares enough that maybe she's not anymore. But I hear you. Yeah, keep going.
But I do like that she's doing the exact same thing. At least it proves that a woman can do it.
I got two observations here. First of all, can you believe that the Bumble CEO job is more attractive than Slack CEO? I don't really. That one kind of surprises me. Although Slack, of course, bought by Salesforce, so they're not their own entity anymore.
Yeah, I think that's basically I want to be a real CEO.
Yeah.
Except that Lydia, what's her name?
Lydia Ann Jones. Yeah.
Lydia Ann Jones. You're not a real CEO.
No, exactly. Exactly.
So
what's the difference? Really, what's the difference? She's a subsidiary of the founder, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So, but it is a slight upgrade because at least you're not the CEO underneath a CEO who's underneath the founder, right? Because Salesforce has co-CEOs, one of whom
that's
is the
true.
founder,
It's like
right?
and a founder.
Yeah. So at least this is closer.
Yeah, that's true.
But, yeah. So
the other thing I wanted to mention here is that Bumble is quite the outlier in our database. And yes, our database is available at freeflowanalytics.com. Matt, Bumble, after this transition happens, another director is leaving. That board's going to have only two dudes, two men.
Oh,
right? Can you think of a board with fewer dudes?
Out of how many? 3?
Yeah, do you think Strive Asset Management is going to sue them for only having 2 male directors? Isn't that the next step?
Awesome. You know what? I want to know exactly. It would be funny if Strive somehow managed to vote against every woman on the board.
But they're going to use this to their advantage, right? They're going to use this as an example of diversity being racist or whatever stupid thing they're going to come up with. To a point, women is misogynistic, right? Because it's against men, right? It's sexist against men. Is that what they're going to say at Strive?
They would have to be able to prove or show that the women are less qualified than men to have done the job, which is not possible. They can't possibly do it.
They're probably going to nominate Adam Newman for that board, is what that they're probably going to do in a proxy contest. Adam Newman and SBF. That's who they're going to put up. Moving on.
Finally, the meritocracy works.
In a story close to my home, although not why I'm picking it, growing U.S. anger. This is at a Wall Street Journal. Washington Post. The Washington Post has a new CEO, actually. Growing U.S. anger with electric utilities finds its epicenter in Maine. Maine residents will vote tomorrow on a ballot measure that would dissolve its investor-owned utilities and replace them with a nonprofit. Are you aware of this?
Whoa!
I mean, this is stakeholder, shareholder battle going on here on the ballot box. Yeah.
I mean, we have decided, though, long ago that these are they're utilities, right? They are by definition a utility, and they're regulated.
Wait, what are you talking about?
As in, they are a highly regulated utility by the government. They can't rate set.
Electric companies.
Companies. They can't rate set however they want. There's a lot of constraints, and in fact, people have argued that you should regulate banks after the financial crisis. Are they utilities or not? Social media, in the internet, right? Like ISPs, the provision of the internet, isn't that just a utility? And it's really a call for greater oversight. Making them a nonprofit is sort of the next natural step in that progression, that they're community owned and it shouldn't be a for-profit enterprise.
I think it's a great, actually, perspective here, because what you're saying is that in lieu of actual oversight, which we all need, we're going to get involved, right? We're basically going to like put ourselves in to deal with this mess. And I like that you brought up kind of the Meta Platforms model, because maybe that's what needs to be done.
I wonder if it's going to be a dual class nonprofit like Sam Altman's.
Yeah.
So I have to give this a score.
People with bow ties have 3 votes per share.
Oh no, I got to go buy a bow tie.
Yeah. What's your vote on this one?
My vote on this is 4 out of 5 globes. I think that's correct.
Next one. This just cracked me up and made me fearful at the same time. This is from the New York Times. Chatbots may hallucinate more often than many realize. According to the article, when summarizing facts, ChatGPT technology makes things up about 3% of the time, according to research, and Google's AI makes things up at about a rate of about 27%. I mean, even the 3% to me is absolutely frightening, but the 27% at Google, yeah.
3% does not sound like a lot. Like, actually, if you talk to another
really,
human...
Why should it be anything above zero?
But listen, the first conversation you have with a human any day is, hey, how are you? And 98% of people lie right then. The first conversation you have.
Yeah, I was going to say that the New York Times actually talked about me in that article, and it says that I make stuff up 94% of the time.
That's true. So what do we? I mean, 3% seems like.
So you're okay with that? Yeah.
I guess it depends on what the 3% is. If it's like inject, 7 milligrams of insulin into your body instead of 2, that seems like a bad thing to lie about.
Well, Matt, it is replacing I don't know, is it not? So it must be replacing some fact with something.
I guess it is. It doesn't say I don't know very well.
No.
Google has so much information.
Yeah.
How did they manage to get so much wrong? Like,
I'll tell you why. Because they're another one of these like duopolies run by 2 men who control everything with a fake CEO in place. Maybe it's just like their balance of power, their oversight. It's just all wrong, right? It just doesn't make sense.
I guess there's no incentive to not lie because the 2 people in charge.
What are you giving this one?
I'm giving this 2.5 thumbs down.
I actually might agree with that one. All right, next headline. This is just bizarre. I mean, especially for considering the world that we cover here. I'm still having trouble wrapping my head around this one. Colombian rum company, like the booze.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you.
Dictador, that's the name of the company. Appoints, and this is out of foxbusiness.com, appoints a new AI robot called Mika as the company CEO.
What?
Yeah, I'm not kidding around here. So Mika is a research project between Hanson Robotics and the rum company Dictator, who customized the CEO to represent the company and its unique values. Here's what's crazy, Matt, before you react to that. What's crazy is that this is a Colombian rum company. This is what they're calling it. But it's actually a company based in Poland. Okay. It's a Polish company. But the CEO, the AI CEO, who's meant to represent the company in its unique values, is a woman of color. I really don't know what's going on.
Not.
It is.
No, it's not a woman of color.
Well, I'm just saying, that's who the picture looks like. And this is a Polish. Okay, I'm just telling you. She's meant to emulate a woman of color, I guess.
Unless it was trained entirely on text and thoughts and feelings of people of color. Yes. It is not a woman of color.
Okay, but they created an avatar. But they created an avatar with human-like skin.
What's amazing about it is that the sheer arrogance that you can train the thing on what 7 white bros think is important and then make it look like a person of color to make
with
decisions
glasses.
about it.
She's wearing glasses.
I like that she doesn't even have 20/20 vision. Like that. Like she.
Yeah, it's a bad start. Imagine Terminator. Imagine Arnold Schwarzenegger with the glasses on during that. I mean,
if you went through all this trouble to make a robot who's supposed to be more efficient, at least they can be able to see, right?
Here's another funny part of it is that Mika said on the company website that according to the company, Mika said that with advanced artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms, I can swiftly and accurately make data-driven decisions, blah, 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 right?
Yeah, okay.
But according to the Fox Business Reporter, she said that there's a significant delay in the time it takes Mika to process and respond to your question. Anyway, I mean, we're laughing, but when you hear one of the next stories coming up, I don't know, maybe we won't be laughing for long on this.
Well, I have a lot of questions, some legal, some not. Like do they get a golden hello? Is there
good question.
A pay package that you have to vote on? Is there who do you hold liable if the company does something wrong? You can't sue an AI bot, and a company called Dictator who sells rum does seem like a kind of company that when they do something wrong, they want to be able to say it was the AI's fault.
Let's not forget that they call themselves a Colombian rum company, and they're based in Poland. I mean, the whole thing is
there's a lot of
bizarre.
problems here.
Yeah.
I'm giving this a negative 40%.
All right. In light of that last headline, let's get right to Elon Musk.
Oh, I don't.
And let's stay with AI. Elon Musk says. This is a headline. This is coming out of a lot of news sources. Elon Musk says AI will eventually create a situation where no job is needed. He is predicting. He is now officially predicting a no job future. And yet he also wants to. Of course, right? He's talking about he wants to like overpopulate. Right? He's worried about there being too few people on the planet. I'm now thoroughly confused of what the hell is going on. But yeah, go ahead.
He is predicting something that was predicted 10 years ago when Pixar made the movie WALL-E.
Okay.
But barring the cute story of two robots falling in love, it went horribly, horribly badly for the people. Did anybody else see that movie? Yeah. I have kids. The people part is horrible. They're all weigh 600 pounds. They're in floating things. They do nothing. They can't even eat. Their teeth don't work. They're drinking out of straws. And they haven't been back to Earth because they polluted it so badly. WALL-E already figured this out. It's not great. It's not good.
Yeah.
So no job needed is not a great thing for humanity. Actually, when we're all unemployed, do we feel good about that? Or is that not a good state? Like humans don't like that.
I think humans. I was gonna say humans and animals. Yeah, there is definitely an enjoyment in productive energy, right?
Can you imagine if you didn't have a job and you spent all day on Twitter?
What
a horrible life that would be.
At the same time, Matt, Elon Musk's artificial intelligence startup xAI released its first model named Grok, Grok.
I already hate it.
Screenshots of Grok's responses show the chatbot swearing and mocking its users.
Oh,
so this intentionally, and part of this, Matt, is that and his selling point is because it's based on the data that you get from Twitter, the company he owns, X, that cesspool of a company. And this is going to be the alternative to models like ChatGPT.
Wow.
A model that is trained to be more civil. This one is just a pure asshole. Again, Matt, this is real life. This is actually happening.
I like that he's at least honest about what... I mean, it's like he's the living embodiment of garbage in, garbage out. We talk about that in data all the time. Good for you, Elon.
Let me add one more tidbit before you rank this overall Elon Musk headline. Ex-CEO Linda Yaccarino stepped in to remove a pro-Hitler post in an apparent divergence from Elon Musk's free speech absolutism. So that's what's going over there on X.
Oh, she stepped in.
Yeah. So what do you think about this? I want you to rate the original headline. Elon Musk says AI will eventually create a situation where no job is needed.
Look, I'm going to rate this I'm going to rate this blue cheese on a scale of blue cheese to aged cheddar. This is not great.
Well, that's tough because that's a subjective rating what you just gave, because a lot of people have different interpretations of blue cheese. So I don't know I don't know how to feel about this.
They're wrong. Blue cheese is the bottom.
All right, let's try to have a little bit more fun. I have 3 more headlines for you.
That's possible, yeah.
We spoke to a NYU business professor today, so I kind of wanted to highlight another NYU business professor. That's Susie Welch from NYU Stern School. She said, this headline's making a lot of play today. She said, Gen Z remote workers are probably not going to become CEOs.
Oh. I love when you can generalize about an entire generation of millions upon millions of people.
Yeah. This is the part of the quote I really like. She said, the young people who choose to have that life, that go into work maybe 1 or 2 days a week or never and work entirely remotely, they may have a version of success that is not our version of success.
Okay. So
that one kind of threw me there.
You're dead, Susie.
But what is that? That's what throws me, like, because I was like kind of looking in the article for like what is the version of success that we're leaning on. But you notice how what version of success is she aligning with over there at NYU? I guess with the version of the CEO's version of success. I mean, she realizes that these companies that often there are 50,000 non-CEOs and one CEO. So most people are probably not going to become CEOs, Susie Welch, right? Am I wrong about that?
That is correct.
So the whole argument is just, I find it to be so juvenile. It's like a middle school argument. Yeah,
it's myopic, right? So Susie Welch, she has been at NYU since she started in September of this year.
Oh,
so. Been there for a while, but
I'm glad she got her job before the date, which no one's going to have a job, because that's what Elon's predicting. Yeah,
that's true. But she's a senior advisor to Brunswick Group, which is a CEO advisory firm.
Okay, there we go.
Which means
so that's
all
our
she
version.
does is
I get it now.
represent the dumbass CEOs from today. Yeah. So Susie, you get a big fat. I'm giving you a double 0 out of 100.
This is an easy one. Tyson Foods. We love talking about Tyson.
Yeah, I don't love talking about Tyson. No.
Another company that is a fake public company that's controlled by the Tyson family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tyson recalls almost 30,000 pounds of dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggets after consumers found metal pieces in them.
Well, I mean,
you gotta love that headline, though. Come on.
I will give the headline a kimchi on a scale of mung beans to kimchi.
Is there something wrong with me that I was just fixated on the fact that why do we need chicken nuggets to be shaped like dinosaurs? Like, what is even happening in our world?
That's a really good question. Look, if your children won't eat the chicken nuggets that are shaped like chicken nuggets, you've already got other problems, existential problems.
Because I've been a child, Matt. Chicken nuggets are just delicious.
They're just chicken nuggets.
What are we doing here?
You don't know what's happening. To be a dinosaur. You don't need them to be a dinosaur.
Yeah. Although I guess you do need them to be a dinosaur if you're going to use metal pieces to create the infrastructure that makes them a dinosaur. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe it holds the neck up, because I'm picturing a T-Rex, so maybe it holds the neck up.
I didn't think structurally the structural soundness of the dino chicken nugget.
And finally, in our top 9 rate the stupid ESG business news. I don't know what's going on with headline game.
yeah. Go back to the original name
for November 6th, 2023. We should have had Nell play this game. She would have loved this game.
Yeah. No, nothing sounds credible like this game.
Yeah, I had when we interviewed Nell Minow, what nobody knows is that I had a separate camera on Nell, and I noticed that she was hovering her mouse button right over the exit button of our interview. So she was always ready to bounce quickly out of our.
Actually, honestly, Nell spent over an hour with us.
Yeah,
just because Damien would not stop fanboying with Nell. Like, it was really hard.
I like talking to Nell. It was fun.
I mean, she's literally the creator of modern governance. Like,
she's also just good at talking, unlike us.
Well, I don't know.
No, she's good at it.
I mean, I'm a lot like Grok.
Yeah, you're a bit more like Grok. Last headline. Speaking of our favorite drug dealers, Starbucks wants to open 8 new stores a day from now until 2030.
Wow.
Wrap your head around that. Wrap your head around that. Matt, they want to add 20,000 new stores by 2030 in a long-term growth strategy, which they have named. Are you ready for it? This is the name of their long-term growth strategy. Triple shot reinvention with 2 pumps.
Oh! The marketing team probably spends a year on that name, right?
Is this not proof that, like, can we stop calling them like anything but just a big weedy drug company? I mean, why do we think that they're anything other than a cocaine factory?
Speaking of, which do you think will grow faster, Starbucks or cannabis companies in New York City? Because you can't go a block anymore in New York without.
Oh, is that right?
Like, it just, the whole city smells like weed.
It's the same up here, unfortunately. Like, I have to pass 3 different weed shops to get to the pharmacy, basically. Like, they're just everywhere.
Which, imagine if now in a growth like market where every corner is either a Starbucks or a cannabis store, you can go get some cannabis, smoke it while you drink your coffee, and offset each other. What do we?
Well, Matt, it was something we talked about back in the day. It's not going to be that long that the market is going to accept a Starbucks also probably selling weed eventually, right? I mean, it'll take some time, but eventually we're going to be comfortable with that.
Is it 100% certainty or 95% certainty that Starbucks sells cannabis at some point?
I'm going to go with 100. Is that allowed?
I think that's allowed. I also am going to give
rate this headline. Let's get out of here.
As my final rating here.
8 new stores a day.
8. I have to give this a coconut latte on a scale of Americano to caramel macchiato.
Unfortunately, I think you're right because it's a delicious prospect.
It's not the worst thing I've heard in my life. That's all we got. That's Damian Rollis. I am your analyst, Matt Mascardi. We are Free Float. We will be back on Wednesday. We're going to do...
Again, we're not done?
Now, the 2 of us are going to do a short Woke Wednesday before we have a clip from the Nell Minow podcast.
Ooh.
Then we'll drop all of that. Yeah, or just a clip. We're going to Nell talking about the anti-woke, actually, and her testimony. And then we'll drop all of Nell, an hour of Nell, on Thursday. Super fascinating person.
Listen to the whole conversation. You should.
It's fantastic. And then we'll be back Friday to wrap the week. Until then, goodbye.